Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. It is Celtics opening night, and we have all the coverage right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We will take you up until 7 o'clock tonight. Then Grandy and Max take over for pregame, and we'll have you right after the game until 11 o'clock tonight. So we are going to do a ton of Celtic stuff. I have the betting odds. I have the new guys, who's in, who's out, all that throughout the night. I got a couple of bets for you, season bets and bets for tonight's game, so you don't want to miss that. Beautiful day outside for anybody heading into the Garden, and you want to call in. The phone number is 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube as well. I already see our friends in there ready to go. And just quickly before we get into the Celtics, I wanted to just give some finishing touches to Brad Marchand's night last night at the Garden. He had 2 points. It was an emotional night overall. Brad Marchand made his return to Boston after being traded to Florida and after helping them win a championship. Marchand is the perfect Florida Panther. He gets into scrums. He helps his team get onto the power play, and they dominate there. And they did it again last night as he continues his Hall of Fame career. Marchand got a standing ovation last night. He was the last guy off the ice in pregame skate. Then he got a video board tribute that was emotional to say the least. He was choked up. All the fans were applauding him. It was directly just placed on Marchand's face. He sat while watching on the bench. He absolutely deserved every second of it last night. But it was emotional. It was a time to watch a great player who never wanted to leave here get the flowers that he deserved. When you look back at it, we talked about this last night. There might only be 3 players from this run of the Bruins who gets their numbers retired. Chara is going to get his this year. Bergeron certainly is. I've made debates about Tuukka Rask. We know that Tim Thomas's number's not retired. But Brad Marchand is. Marchand's going up there. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to continue to climb up the ranks when it comes to whether it's goals, points, shorthanded goals, playoff games played, playoff game points. He is the ultimate competitor. And the one thing about being here in Boston, he was so relatable. He was a tough guy. He could score, right? He was a small guy. People related to him. He'd talk after games. He'd lick people. He'd break helmets. He would do all those things. Marchand absolutely deserved the standing ovation last night. The Bruins did Marchand a favor sending him to Florida. I mentioned this last night, but they did him a favor. He wanted to stay in Boston, but the contract for the future of the Bruins wasn't ideal. I think we can all admit that. But they did him a solid sending him to the Panthers. And as I said, he is the perfect Florida Panther. They got a first-round pick in return as the team is looking to retool. But speaking of the team, there was a hockey game last night. I know people were there for Brad Marchand, but the Bruins needed a win last night or a point, especially coming off that 3-game losing streak on the road. The Bees started the year off very well. They looked like a well-sound team. The one thing you can say about the current Bruins group is they fight back in games. But the margin for error is so slim. It's so slim. And that margin of error was the difference last night. Whether you want to call it puck luck, whether you want to call it snake bitten, or any hockey harder term that you want to bring up to me, last night they lost because of the margins. The Panthers went up 2-0. The Bruins kept trying to climb back. They couldn't get anything past Sergei Bobrovsky. They entered the third period down 2-0. Pavel Zacha was playing well all night long, got on the board to make it 2-1. Elias Lindholm, right? Nice little bullet pass from Pasta on the power play. 2-2 game. So they're fighting back. The crowd's electric. It's Brad Marchand's night. He got his ovation, but there's still a game to be played. They were down 3-1 on a beautiful pass by Marchand, by the way, to set up a goal. Beautiful. Then Morgan Geekie cashed in. The Bees took control of the puck straight off that face-off. And how about Middlestat? As much crap as I heard about him today, he was a big part of that play, and he hasn't been great. He got benched last game. It's a 3-3 game. Boston outshot Florida in the third period, 12-7 last night. And what happened? The margins came through. The margins happened. Shot from the wing, off the post. Swayman's out, comes out of the net. Geeky's out of position. And what happens? Reinhardt just wraps around. Or is it Verhaeghe? Wraps around. Goal. 25 seconds remaining to give the Panthers the 4-3 lead and eventually the win. The Bruins are now 3-5-0 on the season. They welcome the Anaheim Ducks to the Garden on Thursday night. In the end, the Bruins celebrated Brad Marchand. Deservingly so. He deserved it. He's the same guy they traded away who had 2 assists last night. And they lost the game. And I can't say this enough. I feel bad for you, Bruins fans. I feel bad for you. I've worked here at this station for almost 15 years, and I have worked every horrible, bad, crushing, devastating, demoralizing loss that they've ever had. When they lost in 2018, I was here. When they lost in 2021, I was here. So I can tell you that they continue to keep finding ways to lose in the most devastating fashion. I don't know when they get that stink off them. I don't know. They traded so many guys. They moved on from so many guys. There's new pieces here. All I know is last night was heartbreaking. Yes, Brad Marchand was there. Watching him cry, that was a moment. It was heartbreaking to watch because he never wanted to leave. Never did. What else is heartbreaking is the damn play of the Boston Bruins. I left here last night being like, this team's cursed. They're cursed. I don't know how they lose like that. Shout out to Mark Capello and the Jeremy Conley, though. They got Brad Marchand after the game last night. He did about 6 minutes with Ryan and Bob. He was very open about coming back to Boston. He shared his experiences from the weekend. He talked about a lot of things. Now, Skaz, you got that? Okay, listen to this, all right? Is this from last night with the guys? So there was 2 interviews I want you guys to hear. On the other side, I'll let you hear one he did with ESPN that he actually talked about some contract stuff. But last night he was on with the guys, and he just talked about it really didn't hit him coming back to Boston. And it might be, he did a media tour, and again, they were lucky to get him last night. They really were. But Marchand coming back, it was the story. It was the story of the night. But you know what else is the story? They traded that guy away. The guy who wanted to be here. I think they did him a favor. I don't think he was a great captain. I also think he was a guy who called out many people, whether it was Swayman, him and David Pastrnak, supposedly. How about the coach, right? He never really got a deal done with Don Sweeney. The guy's a future Hall of Famer who went into business for himself, got traded, got a championship, and, got paid along the way. I was hoping for some sort of Gordie Howe hat trick last night. He got 2 assists. I was hoping for the goal, maybe a fight. I was starting to think of maybe would it be Zadorov he'd go after? Would Swayman lift his mask? But shout out to the guys last night who did get Brad Marchand in on the post game, and he just talked about the experience, about going out with the former guys, being back in town, going to order a coffee. The coffee people knew exactly who he was. Like, Boston's was home, and I'll say it is home for Brad Marchand. But I'm now starting to think all these former Bruins are now starting to own the Bruins, right? Cassidy gets a championship. He comes back, he wins. Linus Ullmark comes in last year. What happens? He wins. Now Brad Marchand's coming in and winning. It's just a really bad look for the Bruins organization. There's some sort of stink. There's something going on there. When they lose the worst way possible. I feel bad for you, Bruins fans. I'm sure you felt bad watching Brad Marchand put up 2 assists, too, and winning the game and losing with 25 seconds left. It wasn't good. It was demoralizing. Yeah, they get back into action tonight. All I'll say is this. Thank God the Celtics start tonight. Because, man, I've been watching some really bad hockey. And I don't know when that stink gets out of that locker room. I just don't know if I can handle more demoralizing losses. Hey, listen, I just worked the games. For you fans, that was heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking last night. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. I do want you guys to hear on the other side, Brad Marchand did a bunch of interviews. He did one here with the Sports Hub. And then after the game, he was with Steve Levy and all the guys on ESPN. And he actually discussed the way he handled the contract. And it's 2 minutes long. We'll let you hear it, but it was really good stuff. So feel free to react to the Brad Marchand stuff from last night. The Celtics begin their season tonight. The new-look Celtics. We got your betting props. I got some sort of a season preview. We'll tell you who the new guys are. Maybe we'll get an update on Jaylen Brown at some point. Joe Mazzulla spoke about 10 minutes ago and said he's about to go through his pregame workout. So no word yet if he's going to start, but the betting line has already moved in the Celtics' favorite 2 points. So a lot there. We'll get back into the Marchand stuff. What is on the line this year for the Boston Celtics? There's some Patriot stuff in there as well. We got Skaz here, one of the Green Teamers. Go check out that podcast as well. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
dying to ask you about if you have any regrets about the way the whole thing went down. And then part of me said, hey, just won a Stanley Cup with a new team. He's 37, got a 6-year contract. But I'll ask you anyway, any regrets about the way everything went down leaving Boston?
You know, you're the first person to ask me that.
Yeah.
I think, which is kind of crazy. You know, it's funny you say that because I today was actually probably the first time I ever thought about, you know, if things were different, and I don't think I could say that I regret it. You know, it worked out incredibly well. I mean, we play the game because we're competitors and we want to win, and you know, the whole reason that we do everything we do to try to get better and improve and become the best version of ourselves because we're chasing a Stanley Cup. So I don't think I could ever sit here and say that I regret how things played out. I think they played out exactly how they were, you know, for me to win another cup. And I'm very, very grateful for the way that things played out. It could have played a lot different the way that, you know, coming down here and could have had a much different experience, but I had some of the best months of my life. Some of the most fun I've ever had playing hockey, and got to make incredible friendships and relationships and build incredible bonds and win a cup. So, you know, do I wish that, you know, at times, I guess I would say that I think if we went back, I think both sides would have done things differently. You know, I think is how I would say. I think I let my emotions handle some aspects of the negotiations that maybe I would have done differently if I go back, but I wouldn't go back. I guess if I could put it that way, is I wouldn't do it differently if I could, because my family and I got to live some of the most incredible memories that we'll ever live through together. And you know, one of the things I was thinking of going to the rink today was, you know, the sacrifices that you know, like my kids have to deal with, and all of us that have kids and play the game realize what those are and the time that we're away. And I think them being there for the cup is what makes it worth it. And you know, the move and having to go through that to win a cup is worth it. So you know, if I was in the situation going through it, I would have handled it differently. But I'm happy with how it played out for sure.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. I just wanted to start with the Bruins stuff tonight so we can do it to the Celtics, okay? But I thought that was a really good interview there. I think that was the most honest Brad Marchand could be. I think he took some responsibility for the way negotiations went. Also, I think said if he wouldn't have changed anything either. So I think he wanted to stay here. I think he wanted to be here. I also think he wanted the contract and the respect. He didn't get it. So what did the Bruins do? They sent him to the best situation possible, and he went on to win a Stanley Cup. Oh, and he got paid. Should we add that in there? He got his big contract, and now he's going to put up numbers for the next 5 years on his way to a Hall of Fame career. Maybe he'll win more championships. And I'll just say this one more time. He has 2. We'll always think back to Chara and Bergeron, but Marchand won 1 here. He should have won more. He didn't. But now he has a chance to go do it with a team, potentially a three-peat that's done it 2 years in a row. So just wanted to just share some of that Brad Marchand stuff. I thought it was really, really good moment. And a great night at the Garden. And we're going to get another great night at the Garden tonight. You ready for tonight's guest? Of the Green Teamers podcast? I listened. You and Jake Seymour. Jake will be on the grounds tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He might join us. He might join us later in postgame, so he'll be there. Are you ready for the night? I was just Meg and the girls over at the Garden just sent me the food list that is at the Garden tonight. I don't know if you saw this, but they got root beer floats. Ooh, the Causeway cones, the Beyond Beef sausage, and a $5 menu items like the Hub hot dog.
I did see a little value meal, value menu this year, which I think is nice. And
it comes in a Celtics cup. But you all jazzed up for tonight? Any word yet? You heard anything on Jaylen Brown? I did hear that Joel Embiid will be on a minutes restriction.
Yes, Nick Nurse said Embiid would be on a minutes restriction. Missoula said Jaylen Brown will go through his warm-up as normal, and then they'll decide from there how things are going to go. I would expect you get Jaylen Brown with no minutes restriction tonight. At least that's what you're certainly hoping for. As a Celtics fan, I expect the Celtics to win tonight. Opening night, a lot of juice. The 76ers team is banged up. Obviously, Celtics without Tatum, you're going to see a lot of new guys, but I'm ready for the Josh Minot era, Joe. Starting Neemias Queta, I'm ready.
So they have towels for opening night tonight. The 5 players that they have, right in the middle is Jaylen Brown. To his left and right are Peyton Pritchard and Derek White. To his far left is Sam Hauser. And to the far right, Jason Tatum. So I still don't know what the starting 5 is tonight. Do we know? When will we know? Will Grandy be the one who announces it to us, basically? Is that it?
I think so. That's usually how it goes.
That's how we'll find out? I mean, should we ask Stenberg who he's got? You know how the guys do their, the starting 5 lineups? He's just going to find out and just mix them as so if we find out it's Amari Williams starting tonight.
30 minutes before tip is usually when you get it.
All right. Well, we'll hand things over to them tonight. How you feeling, though? You good? You feel ready for the game tonight?
I feel ready. I think the Celtics team is going to be very interesting this year. I think there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. You're going to learn the most, I think, this year about Jaylen Brown, Joe Mazzulla, and Derek White. This is a totally new year for all of them, new circumstances for all of them, new expectations. Jaylen Brown becoming the 1. Derek White will now easily be the 2 on this roster. Different defensive assignments they're going to face. And Joe Mazzulla faces kind of an uphill battle for the first time in his coaching career. So I think a lot to learn about this Celtics team.
I don't know what year is more important to Jaylen Brown or Joe Mazzulla. I'm probably going to lean Jaylen Brown, but I think there's a lot on the line for Joe Mazzulla as well. Maybe there's other pieces, but that's where I stand. There's 2 people. It's an important year for both of them. Wick Grossbeck did talk about Jason Tatum's potential return. We'll get into that coming up.
He's still doing media for the team, huh?
Yeah. Not
okay.
Here though. He didn't do it here.
Well, I know he didn't do it here.
Yeah,
it's funny that he's still trotting him out there.
Do you think he'd come? What's up with not coming here?
I'm sure it's a contract, Joe. Contract.
Yeah, we're the flagship. Why not?
Well, is he the owner?
Oh, you know what? Maz is out. Yeah, that's what Maz is out. Oh, is he the owner? I don't even know anymore.
Who's he speaking for? That's what I want to know. He's speaking for Bill?
Was he speaking for Tatum, too? Well, I'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. You guys have heard from us. Let's hear from you, 617-779-0985. Let's start with Dalton and Dedham. What's up, Dalton?
Joe Murray, how we doing?
How you doing,
How we doing?
How you doing?
Good. Scats, how we doing, pal?
Doing well.
So, guys, I think this is a huge night for Jaylen Brown. This is the way for him to basically establish himself. But people are not talking about Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard might be the Celtics scapegoat this year if they don't do good, because I think this kid's going to come out and play his ass off. And I just think tonight. Oh, what did you say, Scott?
No, I said You said scapegoat?
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it like that, Joe. My bad. Yeah.
I'm trying. So are you trying to say that if Peyton Pritchard doesn't play to a level, it's not going to be good?
I would say that, Joe. Yeah, because they got to blame it on somebody. So he would be. I think he would be the scapegoat.
Do you know who we blame it on? Ownership.
Who are we going to blame it on, Joe?
We blame it on ownership because ownership's going to tell you the second that Jason Tatum got hurt last year, that's when everything went down.
I understand that, Joe. Yeah,
I'm going to blame ownership. You know what, Dalton? You got me fired up right now. I'm going to blame ownership. Joe. You know why? Because they gave up on a team that could have won back-to-back. They moved on from guys to save money.
Yeah, come on, Joe. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not that night. Not that night tonight. Not that night. But if we're talking scapegoats, I'm going right to that man named Bill and his wife's book called Hump. I think he pulled that one back out.
Oh, boy, yeah. We haven't done any hump talk.
You know what, though?
Not tonight, Joe. Not tonight.
Not about that.
You know what it's about, Joe?
Green Teamers unite! The Whale offense! Is that how a whale sounds? What are they? The orca. The orcas. What are they now?
The orca offense. I don't know. They might be like the dolphin offense now or something.
They're
the big tuna.
The tuna offense.
Slightly smaller.
I got betting odds for you, man. I still don't know if Jaylen Brown's playing tonight. He's got to be playing, right? Do you know the betting line has gone from like 1 to 5.5?
Yeah, I saw it at 4, 3.5.
Yeah, now it's at
earlier.
5.5 right now. What am I missing here? Don't follow the steam.
You think Embiid minutes restriction has something to do with that?
He's you can get him right now 30 points tonight for plus 245 on DraftKings.
That feels low.
I thought I said the same
Like
thing.
plus 240 doesn't feel like enough.
I wonder what his rebounds over under is tonight. That's something I'm going to look at tonight. Like, if the Celtics can out rebound teams, because they're not going to. See, guys, people always thought it was shooting too many threes was the issue. I always said it was rebounding.
Yeah, it could be both.
Well,
Both things can be true.
In the playoffs, when you have a lead like that and you play like a bunch of jerks, they did. They played like jerks. Right? Like,
We got a little Porzingis news today as well.
yes. Let's hit the headline. We'll get everything all caught up. We'll re-rack it. Celtics home opener tonight. 76ers, Embiid, potentially Jaylen Brown. We'll tell you what we know in headlines right now. Feel free to call in at 617-779-0985. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub. Just a few minutes here. Let's talk to Tom. He's in Quincy, though. What's up, Tom?
Hi, it's Shane.
Oh, shit. Why do they keep calling you Tom in Quincy? Why does that happen?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not,
know.
but the call screen is... How you doing, Prince Humperdinck? What do you got, buddy?
I'm good. Hi, Joe. Hi, Skaz. Hi, Dean's Colleges. Josh. Hi,
There he
Chat.
is. Dean's back there.
I bet 25. No. I bet some money on Jaylen Brown to go over 25 points tonight.
Is he going to play?
And maybe he's not playing. I thought that was a smart thing, and now I'm listening to you, waiting for the game, and it's like, is he going to play or pull a Christian Gonzalez? Or
Well, the pull a Christian Gonzalez. It's minus 103 right now, 25 points. So that's some good.
Yeah, and I got a
right there.
boost on. I got a boost. It was like a 20% boost on site.
Wait,
so it's like I had it
you
at
use
plus
your boost.
114.
You use your boosts on single plays.
I'm not a great bettor, Joe.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say you got to use those boosts on the parlay, bro.
Well, I did that, and if SGA had 3 more assists, I would have turned $1 into 300 last night.
Unfortunately, though, the game went into overtime, and he scored. I don't know how many points.
Yeah, I mean that's
game.
why they call me almost.
Oh, is that what they call you?
No, but they probably will now.
Excuse me. Jaylen Brown's dribbling right now. He's doing his pregame routine. He's still
That's
a game
great,
time
man.
decision.
Oh, it's still a game time decision. Okay.
Yep. What do you think about the 5.5 line, though? You in on that?
No, that's the only one I did was Jaylen Brown over 25.
Jaylen Brown will play tonight.
That's great. I'm going to make like $1 million.
Hell yeah. Let me, everybody,
Word up.
Everybody follow Shane Humperdinck. Why does it say Tom and Quincy when Shane Humperdinck calls?
I don't know.
It's not anybody's fault. We have a system here.
We do have a system.
So
the French system.
Yes. Just saw that come over the wire or Twitter. Joe, love the show. Listening in the UPS truck. We need Baylor to be a huge role player this year. I think he will. Oh, Baylor Shireman, one of my preseason disappointments. My 2 preseason disappointments were Jordan Walsh because he missed 2 games and Baylor Shireman. So I'm actually just kind of curious about Baylor Shireman tonight. If he has any, they didn't even list him for points tonight. He's not even listed.
What's the Joe Murray line for Baylor Shireman points tonight?
Well, I would say the 5.5. Because that's what he did in the preseason. He should be better than that. I don't even know what the starting 5's going to be. If Jaylen Brown's playing tonight, right? Should we assume? Because let's look up. Let's just look up the 76ers because they're a new look team, or are they? I guess that's a question regarding them. But looking at the 76ers, I don't know why I just punched this in, but yeah. So if you look at, and I'm just pulling up I wanted to make sure I got all the injuries and everything in there too, because I know some guys might be out right now. All right, so Tyrese Maxey is their star player, had 26 points last year. See, he's the guy that I'm most. Paul George. Oh, is he doing his podcast or is he playing? I can't remember. Joel Embiid, Justin Edwards, and Kelly Oubre. Jared McCain is a guy that, I think can come along, guys. We've talked about him before. They brought back Kyle Lowry, so you'll probably see him at some point. Eric Gordon is now a member of the 76ers. So I think they go Maxey, Oubre, Edwards, George, Embiid. Do you know who the backup to Embiid is tonight? If he is on minutes restriction, do you know who that is, guys? It is Andre Drummond.
You might see some Johnny Broom tonight.
Johnny Broom, Jabari Walker, remember him? So there you go.
I think VJ Edgecombe is a stud too.
So
I think that's going to be a hit.
Where will he play? He's more of a small forward, right? So I saw some of his props for tonight. I was actually just looking that up. Yeah, he's at 13 points for tonight on the over under. But I really don't know what the starting five is. Like, if anybody sees it out there, please, like, send it to me. But Jaylen Brown's good to go tonight. I just saw AJ DeBonta, a good friend of the show, just tweet out, go Jaylen. I wonder if they know each other. Maybe they've played ball against each other. Jaylen Brown. I'm just going to tweet out, Jaylen Brown will play. Jaylen Brown will play. So I think it is more important for Jaylen Brown this year than Joe Mazzulla. But I still think there's something on the line for Mazzulla. Like, are they a three-point shooting team, or all this 2-on-1 find the best matchup running team? Is that the change now? Like, is that what it is? I'm really interested. And, I know we talked about the Josh Minot era. I am interested in him. I don't know if Baylor Shireman will play because he barely did well in the preseason. Should I put stock into the preseason? Because if I do, Derek White was great. Derek White was spectacular. But Jaylen Brown is available to play tonight. Why don't we break real quick? Actually, we get some calls. I'll take some calls. I wanted to get into some of these lines here regarding the Celtics. But let's talk to Lucas. He's in Sterling. What's up, Lucas?
What's going on, boys? First-time caller.
Thanks, bud.
Just want to talk about, I think VJ Edgecombe, I know you guys were just talking about him, but I think he's going to have a big game tonight.
Yeah, so he'll go. I mean, really, who is the small forward for the Celtics right now? Is it Jaylen Brown? Is it Sam Hauser? Like, those are the matchups he's going to have tonight. Maybe it's Minot as well. But to your point, though, maybe they could find a little bit of an edge with Edgecombe. Get it? But they could find some sort of edge there. I'm trying to remember where did he Baylor, right?
Baylor, yeah.
He was a stud.
I'd say take his over, take everything on him.
See, he played a little bit of guard. All right, appreciate you. He played a little bit of guard. I think he's a small forward, Skez.
Yeah, but I think he's only 6'4", so he could be like a 2 in the NBA, 2-3 kind of.
They have high. Listen, Maxi's their guy. I think they run however Maxi runs. Paul George can still play. It's just whether he's like, not doing his podcast. I don't know how else to say that. He didn't play at all at the end of the year, right?
He's not that good anymore.
But they have an edge. The 76ers have an edge. They have a big. They have a perennial scorer and one of the fastest guys. So I don't want to say I want to wash out Maxi and White, but you might have to. Because I think White's going to have to be that type of player. Adonis in the car. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? Random take about AJ DeBenza since he's just tweeting out. You guys think he ends up on the Celtics down the line?
No, dude. I saw him in studio. He says he's 6'8". I think he's bigger. But I watched him play the other night, man. He's going to be the top 3 pick. Absolutely.
You think with Tatum getting hurt to ever try to move him?
That was my thought, was don't play Jaylen Brown this year. Tank and try to get into the lottery. But they're not. Joe Mazzulla will not allow that.
I agree.
But no, dude, we had DeBonta in studio, dude. He was great, and he'll be. I'm sure he'll be kicking around. His dad's a friend of the program. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. All right, let's break real quick. I wanted to go over some more stuff regarding who's in, who's out, all that stuff, some bets. We'll do that as we're here until 7 o'clock. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub. tonight. I wrote an article today, 98.5 The Sports Hub. We have a graphic up as well if you want to check out all the bets for the year. But the 25-26 Celtics, what are they? Are they scrappy underdogs, or is it a reset season? We don't know just yet. But I'm ready to watch a new era of basketball in Boston. The Celtics are entering a season where championship expectations probably went out the window the day that Jason Tatum tore his Achilles in the playoffs. That injury was a domino effect that changed, resulting in numerous roster changes, perhaps the most in the NBA. And I looked it up. Yep, the most. Not to mention a new ownership group. So are they going to take an underdog role under Joe Mazzulla this year? The Celtics have strung together 10 straight seasons of 500 basketball or better. And this projected win total set by odds makers has Boston barely above that at 41.5. It's due to a high degree of uncertainty over if it cares to win it all this season. I think that's real. So here are the additions for the Celtics. Chris Boucher, Luka Garza, Josh Minott, and Anthony Simons. Simons was a star player for the Portland Trailblazers, but they drafted a couple of young kids in Sharp and Scoot Henderson. So he comes over, but has a high salary and is a free agent in the offseason. Garza and Minott were kind of second, third stringers with Minnesota. Chris Boucher was a Raptors lifer off the bench. They're all going to contribute somehow, some way. The departures, though, J.D. Davison out, Drew Holiday out, Al Horford out, Luke Cornett out, Georgie Niang out, and Kristaps Porzingis is traded to Atlanta. Come to find out he was dealing with PODs. Really tough situation there. Really tough. The Celtics should make the playoffs. It's minus 165 to make the playoffs this year. When you have Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and Anthony Simons, there's no way Joe Mazzulla is going to handle a reset. I would take the over 41.5 wins. We can ring the bell if you want. And I would take the to make the playoffs, minus 165. If you want a potential bet that I think could hit, these are the two. I would look at Joe Mazzulla as coach of the year at plus 1,800. And sixth man of the year, Peyton Pritchard right now is plus 2,500. I think he's going to start. So I'd go Anthony Simons plus 1,600. Jaylen Brown's plus 10,000 to win the MVP. I don't see that happening. But those are your bets for the season. I'll give you over. I'll give you making the playoffs as my two thoughts. We got Gabe in West Roxbury. Gabe, you got a minute, bud?
Hey, Joe, I'm sorry. You said over 44 wins?
Over 41.5.
Oh, even better. I love that. And I also love this year. I also did it last year. But teams on other sides taking their bigs against the Celtics.
Yep, Embiid tonight, 30
rebounding.
points. Yep.
What?
I said Embiid tonight is 30 points. Yep.
What about rebounds?
I
probably.
So you think over would be the way to go on that one?
Embiid kind of scares me. But I'm pounding every big power forward and center going forward on 10 plus rebounds.
How about 9 points tonight, Gabe? Would you do it on Embiid? 9 rebounds, I mean.
9. Oh, yeah.
All right, boom. Lock it in, Skaz. 9 rebounds tonight. Joel Embiid, even though he's on a minutes restriction. It's as easy as that, everybody. It's going to be an interesting season. I still don't know what the starting five is. I have hit reset 15 times, but I'm going to give you a guess. I think they're going to go small, although there's Embiid and George. I think you're going to see Hauser in the starting lineup with Brown, White, Pritchard, Neemias Queta, your 5. You're going to have Simons, and you're going to have Boucher off the bench. There you go. Have fun at the Garden tonight, everybody. We'll be here. I got your pregame. I got your halftime.